Welcome. My name is Corey Budashak, and I'm here to walk you through some generative AI coding. So this project is in Engineering 1102, and we are looking to do some data visualization. And I think the big thing I want to get across here in the beginning is that you need to use generative AI as a partner, not as a replacement for yourself. And I'm going to try to show you just how to do that. In fact, generative AI was a partner in creating this project. And the big thing to remember is whatever you hand in, you are responsible for. It's not, oh, ChatGPT said this, so that's what I put down. No, you need to check and recheck everything that comes out of here and make sure you understand what it's doing. So there's kind of four main parts to this project, and we'll do some of this with ChatGPT as a partner just to get you started. ChatGPT can be a great brainstorming partner, so we're going to look at that for selecting a topic in a data set. It can also help you generate some MATLAB code, so we'll see how to do that and some of the best practices there. And again, for targeting decision makers and interpreting, communicating, it may also be able to kind of get you in the right direction there and help you brainstorm. We'll leave the reflection to you. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So let's go ahead and the first thing you want to know whenever using a generative AI, first, there's obviously free and paid things. We're going to hit this reason button. We do have a limited amount of this in the free tier of ChatGPT, but we're going to go ahead and use that. And then what we're going to do is we are going to put the project that I was just looking at into here. So this is the whole project. And because it's open, I'll just do the PDF. Because it's open, it doesn't like to upload. That was that failed upload thing. But you always want to feed it with as much information as possible because it's going to look at all the data that you upload or all the text that you upload or files and give you some better results that way. So I'm just going to start with um, given the attached, please recommend some data sets that I can start with. Be specific with ones that I could load into MATLAB and generate visualizations. So let's just see what it comes up with. The nice thing about ChatGPT is it's going to give you an answer, but then if you're not happy with that, you can always ask some other questions. So it's looking at some data sets, and it's probably going to find a lot of the data sets that we had in the original assignment and kind of looking from there. So you can see it's generating some examples like public safety, SEPTA ridership, some public health from some different things, some green space type things, and we'll let it keep generating. So now it's even asking you what you want to do next. So you can definitely think about how to download and clean one of these data sets and suggest some MATLAB code templates and things like that. But I think the first thing we want to do is give it a little bit more or find the data set we want to use. So I think what we'll do is we can do one of these, but I'm actually more interested in the transportation topic. And I think I want to just ask, what are other data sets that have to deal with transportation? So again, you can use ChatGPT as a conversation partner. So this is kind of what I'm looking for is I had an idea that I wanted to think about pedestrians like bicyclist collision data for Philadelphia. So I could ask OpenAI or ChatGPT right now to go through and kind of do some more stuff. But all right, so now that I have this, I really want to figure out if I can do this. So ChatGPT gives me a kind of a weird answer about where to find it. So I think I'm just going to ask it to do this for me. All right, so I asked it to find me this data set. and it's telling me how to do it, but then it also does give me this direct link. Let's go ahead and take a look. So sometimes this will happen. We're getting an error that's not found. So I'm just going to make sure that, yep, it's not found. So let's go ahead and we're trying to find traffic collision data somewhere on open data. And let's go to transportation. And we are going to just scroll down through this. Let's see if we can find it with Control F. So there's nothing for collision, but here's crashes. So we'll go to crashes data, and there's a whole bunch of crash data here. So we can go ahead and just download this CSV for 2019 to 2023. And then the best thing to do is just so you can understand what ChatGPT is going to give you is first to open it up just to look at it so you can see what it looks like. We don't need to worry about converting it. So we can see we have, a lot of different data in here, and there's all sorts of there's latitude and longitude. There's all sorts of different stuff. So we'd have to explore it a little bit more, definitely, if we wanted to, dive deep into this data. But maybe for now, we don't need to worry so much about. We can just basically get the latitude and longitude and do some simple visualizations. So let's go ahead and shut that, and we'll go ahead and bring it into here. And sometimes these spreadsheets can be pretty big, so it might take a while to upload. And if you're finding that it's not going, or if it's too big, you could just give it the first 10 rows or something to help you, because then it's just going to be more data once you download it into MATLAB. So let's just ask it again. We can kind of think of can you generate a map using this data in MATLAB that shows all the traffic incidents on it. And so you can kind of get an idea. This is relatively small MATLAB code, and we can kind of understand. Luckily, it comments it out for us. But maybe I don't know what this is doing, right? And maybe I'm like, I wonder what that is. And maybe we just go to this whole thing and we just ask, this is what's great about ChatGPT. What does this piece of code do in the above program? All right, so this is what it came back with. And I think the most important thing here is that you can keep asking questions and keep trying, and you can even have it generate. You could even say, can you generate a simple script that will help me learn these concepts on a very simple example? But actually, it does a really good job. And now you can kind of get an idea. You could generate your own table, right, like this. You can also mess with this to see how it breaks and what's going on. So the thing I love about ChatGPT is that you can always just keep asking questions and keep getting to it. It's going to make some errors and stuff like that, but the great part now is you can generate this code and then go ahead and check it yourself. So let's just go back and see with this piece of code that it generated up here. Let's go ahead and copy that into MATLAB, and we'll paste it. We have our collision crash data right there. We're just going to do a clear, and if you're generating real code, you would put all the needed headers and things like that. But for right now, we're just going to be checking what's going on here, and we're just going to go ahead and run it and see what happens. So, and this is kind of what happened. This is the error message, the expected columns, right? And so what we could look at in the data is that we don't have latitude and longitude. We have DEC lat, DEC long. And so let's go ahead back. That was that. So that's the problem. So we are going to do And actually, I'm not even sure, so I'm just going to do this. Data.dec. Yep, it's all lowercase. So we'll go ahead and do that. If we run that again, it actually won't work either because we're actually generating the latitude and longitude down here. So let's go ahead to DEC lat, not late, DEC long, and then let's go ahead and run it. So this isn't a great map because it's really just displaying so many traffic incidents, right? I mean, we could zoom in and really get a good idea of what's going on, but it's a great start, right? And now we could do things like now we have a data table. We could do things like filter out by different quantities of the data, or whether or not it's a fatal accident, or if we wanted just to see the accidents like during the morning rush hour or something, we could get rid of that with and all of this is doing all the skills you've learned with logical indexing and things like that. And you could use ChatGPT to go back and to say, hey, now I want to generate this is my code that I use. Now I want to filter out just the ones that have a fatality in them, or just the ones that are a certain latitude or longitude range if you just wanted to look at the area around Temple, say. So this gives you an idea of just how to get started with this project and how you can use ChatGPT to kind of help you get some ideas and brainstorm. Now, if you were to go back, and you could say how you could also go back to ChatGPT and say, how does um, this map help decision makers, and which decision maker would help? And it could help you brainstorm with that. So hopefully this got you off to a good start with the project. Of course, if you have any questions, please reach out to your professors or on the discussion board of the course. Thank you.